Welcome to our mantra breathing talk today. We're so happy to have you with us, and this theme is very inspiring to us: passion in action. And, I had an email from somebody this week when they saw that term, and they reminded me that passion is a very old Latin word, and it's often referred to as the trials and tribulations that Christ went through when he was crucified on the cross, and they call that the passion. So she was suggesting that I use the word enthusiasm, but then when I looked at the modern definition of the word passion, the thing about Jesus's trials and tribulations was way down at the bottom, and the first definition of passion was enthusiasm. So I'm using passion in the modern usage of the word to mean that which you're inspired by, that's what you're uplifted by, that's what you're joyous about, you're happy about it, you're enthusiastic about it. So that's really the definition of the word passion that I'd like to be putting out there. And that's the modern English usage of that word. So take it away, Sandra Ray.
Okay. So Babaji always said, work is worship and idleness is death. And I really like that. I'd never heard that ever said that way before I met Babaji. And if you make your work as a form of worship, you will enjoy it and you will really make a difference. So see that whatever you're doing is a form of worshiping God and worshiping humanity, and that you are serving humanity. And Babaji always says love, truth, simplicity, and service to mankind is the formula for happiness. So we're talking about passion for our workplace, and it means you feel excited about what you're doing, what you're offering every day to the world, and you find a meaning and a purpose to it. And you focus on not making excuses, really doing the best you can. Now, I read somewhere that only 5% of workers feel their current position is the most meaningful work they could be doing. That is really low. I mean, I was shocked. So very few people really feel that they're doing what they could really do. They could all be doing something greater, and they're not. Well, Oprah said passion is energy, and that you feel the power, that you should feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. When you're focusing on something that excites you, then there's an energy and a power. And, passionate people, they get out of bed looking forward to what they're going to do and how they can serve, and they feel energized just getting up, get out of bed, they feel energized and they feel alive. And they're always thinking, a passionate person in work is always thinking about how can I contribute more? How can I learn more? How can I grow? How can I contribute more?
I want to just add a little, maybe a directive. When you wake up in the morning, just ask yourself, how do I feel? Am I feeling happy? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling, I don't want to get up? Just get in the habit of, when you first wake up, saying, I am going to have a happy day. I'm going to have a passionate day. My day is going to go well, and everything I do is purposeful. Things like that. You need to kind of, as soon as you wake up, give yourself those directives, right? So that your day can turn out well. And catch yourself. If you say, maybe I don't want to get up and face that, well, catch yourself and turn that around. Nope, I'm going to have a happy day. I'm going to face that. I'm going to get through it. It's going to be easy. You've got to give yourself that power assist when you start your day, kind of set the tone. And there's even a section in the Course in Miracles called the rules for decision. I would look into that, because that's the first rule they tell you. Get up and say, I'm going to have a happy day. And that's your first rule, that's your first intention. And then when things don't go that way, you have to catch yourself and make the corrections. Yeah.
Yeah, so a passionate person about work is they're constantly learning and growing. I think it was Tony Robbins said, if you're not growing, you're just dying. So that's interesting. Now, Babaji always said to us, wake up, be alert, and get into action. And he said, courage is the most important thing. You have to be lively and enthusiastic. And I think that's passionate. Don't lag behind, he said. Always go forward, advance. And you want to be a shining light for people and make yourself a success. That's what Babaji said on the subject.
I love that story where you were rebirthing that yogi in Harakan in the Dooney, and he sat up and he yelled at you, advance.
4 times.
Advance, advance. And he says, oh, I didn't know what came over me. It was like Babaji speaking through me.
Yeah, and his eyes turned into Babaji's eyes. And he was my client. I was the rebirther. And I said, wow, I must need to hear this, because anytime I heard Babaji say something 4 times, he really wanted me to get it. So he was like saying, advance to me, move forward, go on, don't be static, don't get stuck.
Yeah, so we're saying to you, everything you do, passion, 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 passion. It's like, if you're not having passion doing it, it's something not worth doing. It's like something you probably shouldn't even be doing. So you got to find that sweet spot. I hope you all read that yesterday. There's four parts to finding your sweet spot. 1, you love what you're doing. You have to love what you're doing. 2, you're doing something that people need. They need what you have to offer. 3, you're good at what you're doing. And if you love it, you're going to practice it and you're going to get good at it just because you do it so much, right? So you're good at what you're doing. What you're offering is what people need. You're fulfilling a need. And the 4th thing, when you got all those first 3 things going for you, you're a service to humanity. That thing that you're doing is serving humanity. And then that just gives you more inspiration and more purpose for being passionate about your actions, because you know you're serving humanity. You know it's what people need. It's something you love, and you know you're good at it. So those 4 things, that's your sweet spot.
Even if you're retired, you have something to give, and what is that you want to give? I mean, we don't believe in retirement because most people die 30 months after retirement. So
in fact, we tell people don't retire.
Keep working.
Find your work that you love, and that's not even work. It's more like play. You know, it's what you do with your day that you love to spend your day doing. And then it's like your work becomes your worship. Your actions are passionate, and it's not a stress. It's like you can't wait to get up and do it. It's like, I can't wait to meet you guys on Saturday for mantra breathing. It's like, it makes my whole week, right? I can't wait to get here. And that's my passion. And putting out all the stuff that gets it going, that's my passion.
And when you have passion, you get what we call drive. And when you have drive, you want to do action. And it feels good. It's exciting to have passion and drive. So if you don't have that, figure out what the problem is. What is your thought that keeps you from having passion at work? And change it. And if you can't change it, maybe you need to change your job then. We don't recommend you stay on something that you hate. That's not good for you, and I wouldn't recommend it ever. So either you learn to love what you're doing, or you get a new career. And another way to love what you're doing is to fall in love with your colleagues and really have a passion to make good relationships with your colleagues at work. I think people that are happy at work automatically have a good relationship with their friends at work.
Yeah, and for us, it's like, keep in contact with other breath workers in the world and keeping our community going, and with you guys, keeping that community going. So one thing you notice when you're in actions that are passionate, they produce other actions that are passionate. New possibilities start coming to you. New opportunities start coming to you. It's very attractive. It's like a vortex of energy, and that vortex just brings in other things that maybe you hadn't thought of, but because they're related, they start coming to you. Other other people start coming to you, other opportunities start coming to you, other possibilities start coming to you, all in this vortex of a passionate action. So it's a very fertile ground. Passionate action is a very fertile ground, and it sort of spawns other passionate actions. You get new ideas, you think more creatively, new things come into you. It's like you're in that Esther Hicks calls it the vortex, and that vortex of passionate action just keeps expanding and extending and reproducing itself.
One thing I'm passionate about in the work is helping people find their right partner, and helping people who have a relationship that's shaky, straightening it out. Those are my missions. But we had the good fortune when we took a group to Baca that 2 new couples were formed. They met each other in our training, and it looks like they're going to get together. Even though they live in different states, they're working it out. So I think they're going to stick together, and this gives me so much joy that I could help them.
Yeah,
their perfect mate.
It's Sandra's cosmic dating service.
Yeah, and if you haven't found your ideal mate, maybe you need a private session to get clear on what your block is. So I just wanted to say that we're here to help you find your ideal mate. It's one of my passions.
And it's okay if you like being alone. We're not judging you for that. But if you want a mate and you don't have one, then there must be some block that we would help you get clear on, and we can help you get clear what that is. Remove the block, and then you're open.
All right. So
anything more on passionate action, Sandra Ray?
I'm going to breathe with you.
Oh, okay. Well, you go breathe, and I'm going to keep on this subject. I have one thing I want to talk about in the realm of passionate action. Okay, and I think Sandra mentioned that any of you guys have any ideas about how to get our books out there more, we're open to receive your feedback. And because that's one of our passions, is writing books. And usually we have a book going. Like I've got a book going now. It's going to be about the promise of the future, how we can get over our fear of the unknown, and how we can get into the momentum of creating our future better than our past. And so that's my new book. And Sandra's new book she's working on is this thing about the Divine Mother being the, quote, only answer. The only answer is our relationship to the divine. And she's very much on this subject of the Divine Mother right now, and how the Divine Mother can help us in our life. So that's her book. But one book that I had a lot of passion writing, and I did this, it's a few years ago, some of you may have it, it's my Odes to the Divine Mother. And it actually started in Bali when I saw this Balinese dance. And I'd never seen such a thing. And for those of you who have been with us to Bali, you know what I'm talking about. They have this dance that has some of the most intricate, unusual, and mind-blowing movements you've ever seen. And so I witnessed this dance actually in a very high-end hotel. We were staying in the Oberoi Hotel, and they brought these dancers in for the clientele, and we saw this dance. And I was so inspired, I just sat down like the next day and I wrote these 10 poems about this dance, right? And then that just kept going. When I got home from Bali, I just kept writing about my contact with the material world. And the material world is the manifestation of the Divine Mother. When you see it in that light, it's quite amazing. So all of these visions sort of were coming to me in just my everyday life, how I would look at the carpet, how I'd look at the light coming through the blind, how I would look at just anything, right? Anywhere. So for like 3 years, I wrote these little one-page kind of prose poems about what it was I was observing, and that became my Odes to the Divine Mother. And so that was very passionate, that form of writing where I write a little bit each day, one page, and then that's kind of how I write my poetry. It's really more like a kind of a prose poem. So I wanted to just read one to you today. And this is my passion, and I'm still writing, not always in this style, but I usually have some book going, and that's my passion. So this is called The Glory of Existence. And I wrote this in Bali. So I hope some of you may still jump on board for the Bali Quest in December. It's still possible to come. The glory of existence. The glory of existence comes to me and shows its constancy. The still nature of your love, Divine Mother of this happy vision, blankets everything with a pristine veil of vitality, so alive and pure in this Balinese bungalow of spacious relaxation. The fabric of this canopy of white drapes and crosses overhead on all sides, making our bed enclosed for the night, a royal haven for divine rest in which we feel the purity of our souls, melding with this universal holiness. Thought has slowed down to a pace so still, the spaciousness of our mind is revealed. Our identity resides in the sacred substance, this breath and action of ever-extending joy. Into this other dimension, would you take us now, Divine Mother of all new vision? Lead us along like children into the God-filled garden of your love and increase our joy tenfold. Take us to the edge of our full capacity of light and fill us even more with the overflow of grace that prevails everywhere on this island of the gods. We lay at the feet of your great presence and pay homage to this gift you bestow on us so freely and fully. You arrange all the details ahead of time. We are in a drama already complete, in a constancy of care, in a villa of vivacious surroundings that lifts us to this place of profound liberation. So I don't know, like Bali is one of the most passionate actions we've ever taken, to go there and take people there. And it's just purely God's expression in everything. The people, the architecture, the landscape, the culture, the fact that we're all there breathing and doing liberation breathing together every day. And the food is fantastic. The villas are fantastic. Every bedroom has this like Balinese bungalow with high cathedral ceiling, and your bed's like a canopy bed with this fabric all around it, and your villa has its own private swimming pool, so you can go skinny dipping whenever you want, and it's just wonderful place. It's like heaven on earth. I don't know of any place that could emulate heaven on earth than Bali. And so that's just my passion to share with you. And I've shared quite a few things about Bali in this Odes to the Divine Mother. But that was one of my main passions I did for 4 years. Oh, and also, you all know that I'm a painter. So throughout this Odes to the Divine Mother, There are quite a few of my paintings of the Divine Mother. Here's one of Mother Mary. And yeah, so all through the book, I have these paintings and sculptures that other people have done on the Divine Mother. And that was very passionate action to put all that together. So you may have a creative project that you're working on right now as we speak. And I encourage you to give more attention to that. You know, it's like the creative things in your life give you the most passion. Now, they may not give you the most money. They might. That's nothing that says they can't, and they should. But don't let that be a block if it's something that you're passionate about, and you're passionate about gardening or riding your bike or whatever it is. Give your fullness to it, right? Give your fullness to it because it brings you more joy. And I think that that's the key. The relationship between doing something you're passionate about and joy. Whatever you're passionate about and you do it will automatically bring you more joy. And then the more joy you have, the more passion you have, right? So they're one and the same. Joy, passion, it all fits together. And if we can inspire you to be more creative, give that attention to your creative life, it'll certainly bring more passion to your actions. So that's it. And thank you for joining us today for the talk. And we'll get on with the mantra breathing now, which is also an expression of passion. I'm going to end with this ode to the Divine Mother. It's called You Are Always Here, Ode 154. Only after I end my incessant searching do I notice you are always here. No time were you absent, Divine Mother of all things, when I moved about in a frenzy of distraction, trying to manufacture a heaven of permanent happiness out of fleeting moods of ever-shifting desires. Now would I stop all that nonsense and give up the ghost of the unattainable perfection I sought and never found. What you give is always given in a form so present and still that all my foolish desires cease instantly in the light of this total fulfillment. All that my senses can perceive in this moment of wholeness come to me in the gentleness of peace and quiet. All of your elements harmonize into one compound of unification. What more could I want when your perfection is already here and now? Your gift of true vision already upon me. My searching has ceased. I enter into this holy home of your total care for me with the innocence of a child and the all-knowing nature of a meditating sage. My empty hands are filled with the gifts of inspiration that meld with the actual matter of physicality all around me. You inhabit the very fibers of my clothes and move across the carpet of woolen colors with your bright sword of total illumination. Oh, that got a rise out of Sandere. So, hey, you guys, this was so beautiful to be with you. It's our passion in action to be with you on these mantra breathes. That was beautiful. So Thanks for joining us, and write to us during the week, Sandra@sandraray.com. We always write you back personally. We don't have a secretary. We answer all emails ourselves. So, and by the way, tomorrow, same time, 1 o'clock Eastern USA time, I give a 1-hour talk on A Course in Miracles. You're welcome to come if you want. And it's the same login as today, bit.ly/Ray-Zoom.
Mark Dawson, LRT.
And we're doing an LRT in November online. You're all invited to that. That's November 22nd to November 24th. And you can look that over at bit.ly/November with a capital N, and then LRT, capital LRT. So you can look that one over. All righty. God bless you all. Have a good week. May the Divine Mother give you passion in all of your actions. And I think you got close to that today, so you know what that's about. And just keep the fire burning. Keep the fire burning. All right. God bless you all. Thanks for joining us.